Welcome to the Parenting Blueprint. Today we are tackling the one thing that keeps every parent awake at 2 a.m. bullying. But we aren't talking about the old school, just ignore them advice. In fact, that advice is exactly why your child might still be a target. Did you know that in high-performing school districts from the Upper East Side of Manhattan to the tech hubs of Palo Alto, the most successful parents are doing the exact opposite of what we were taught in the 90s? They aren't telling their kids to turn the other cheek. They are using a psychology-based framework called the confidence anchor. It takes just 11 minutes a day, and today, I'm going to show you the exact science of why it works and how you can start it before the school bus arrives tomorrow morning. Let's look at the cold, hard numbers for a second. According to recent data, nearly 20% of students in the U.S. report being bullied. But here's the kicker. Only about 30% of those kids ever tell an adult. Why? Because the standard advice they get is fundamentally broken. When we tell a child to just ignore it, we are actually teaching them learned helplessness. We are telling their nervous system to freeze, which, to a bully, looks like a green light. Imagine a kid in a middle school in Chicago. Let's call him Leo. Leo is sitting in the cafeteria, and a group of older kids starts making fun of his glasses. Leo does what his dad told him. He looks down at his tray and ignores them. What happens next? The bullies don't go away. They lean in closer. They realize Leo is a safe target because he won't even look up. Ignoring isn't a shield, it's a magnet. Or think about a girl in Los Angeles, Sarah. She's being excluded from a group chat and called names. Her mom says, "Just tell the teacher." Sarah does. The teacher gives the bullies a stern talking to. Now, the bullying doesn't stop. It just goes underground. It becomes whispers in the hallway and accidental bumps in the gym. Sarah feels even more powerless because the system failed her. If these stories sound familiar, you aren't alone. Over 60% of parents admit they feel completely ill-equipped to handle modern bullying. We are using 20th century tactics for 21st century psychological warfare, and our kids are paying the price in anxiety, depression, and a total loss of self-worth. This is critical because of what psychologists call the golden window. Between the ages of 7 and 12, a child's social identity is being hardwired. This is when their brain decides if they are a leader, a follower, or a victim. If a child spends these years feeling hunted, their brain stays in a constant state of amygdala hijack. Their cortisol levels spike. Their prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for learning and logic, shuts down. Long-term studies from the University of Virginia show that children who don't learn to set boundaries during this window are 50% more likely to struggle with workplace relationships and salary negotiations 20 years later. This isn't just about the playground. It's about their entire future. But there is a better way. In high-resilience cultures, they use the confidence anchor, or the CA method. It's based on the social signaling theory by Dr. Albert Mehrabian. The goal isn't to fight. It's to change the signal your child is sending. It's about projecting low stakes, high status. Think about it. A bully is looking for a specific chemical reaction. They want to see the flop or the fight. If your child gives them the anchor, the bully gets bored. It's like trying to start a fire with wet wood. It just won't catch. The CA method has 3 core principles. First, the physical frame. Second, the neutral pivot. And third, the 11-minute drills. Unlike the hit back method, which gets your kid suspended, or the ignore method, which gets them targeted, the CA method focuses on active neutrality. Let's compare. A bully says, "Your shoes are ugly." A reactive kid might say, "Shut up, no they aren't." This is exactly what the bully wants, conflict. A passive kid says nothing and looks at their feet. This is also what the bully wants, dominance. But a CA kid? They use a neutral pivot. They look the bully right in the eye, not with anger, but with mild confusion, and say, "Okay, and?" Then they go back to what they were doing. This works because of a biological mechanism called emotional contagion. When your child stays calm, the bully actually begins to feel the awkwardness they were trying to project. A 10-year study from the National Institute of Child Health followed 3,000 students. They found that kids who were trained in assertive neutrality, the backbone of our CA system, saw a 75% decrease in repeat bullying incidents within just 3 weeks. These kids weren't bigger or stronger. They were just unbullyable because of their psychological frame. Let's break down exactly how you implement this, the 11-minute hack. You don't need a gym or a therapist's office. You just need a kitchen table and a timer. Week 1 is all about the awareness audit. For the first 3 minutes, you're going to help your child identify their tells. Does their voice go high when they're nervous? Do they slouch their shoulders? We have to stop the victim signal before we can build the anchor. Tell your child, for the next 3 minutes, we are going to play a game. I'm going to say something slightly mean, and I want you to notice what your hands do. Most kids will realize they clench their fists or hide their thumbs. This is the old belief manifesting in the body. The new belief we are installing is, my body is my fortress. Week 2 is the physical frame. This is where the 11 minutes get intense. We spend 4 minutes on the triangle of power. Teach your child to look at the bully's left eye, then the right eye, then the forehead. This keeps your child's eyes moving so they don't look frozen, but it looks incredibly intimidating to the bully because it's the same eye pattern predators use. Then we practice the shoulder drop. Bullies look for raised shoulders, a sign of the freeze response. If your child can consciously drop their shoulders while being insulted, they have won the biological battle. Week 3 is the verbal shield. We spend 4 minutes on the bored response. Give your child 3 go-to phrases. Phrase 1. That's an interesting opinion. Phrase 2. I'm not sure why you're telling me this. Phrase 3. Anyway. The key is the tone. It has to be the same tone they'd use to talk about the weather. We are teaching them that the bully's words have 0 value. They aren't mean. They are just uninteresting. Finally, week 4 is the social reversal. This is the master level. Instead of reacting to the insult, your child asks an open-ended question about the bully's behavior. If a bully says, "You're a loser," your child says, "You seem really focused on me today. Are you doing okay?" This is a total power move. It shifts the control from the bully to your child. It makes the bully the subject of the conversation. Imagine how this looks in the real world. Let's go back to Leo in Chicago. Instead of looking at his tray, Leo uses the triangle of power eye contact. He drops his shoulders. He says, "Yeah, these glasses are new. Anyway, did you see the game last night?" The bullies are stunned. They were expecting a victim. They found an anchor. Now, I want to be clear. This takes consistency. You'll feel a little silly role-playing at first. Your child might even laugh or say it's cringe. That's okay. That cringe feeling is the sound of new neural pathways being built. In the first few days, it will be hard. But by day 7, you will see your child's chin lift just a little higher. By day 14, their teacher might call you and ask what changed because your child is participating more in class. By day 30, the bullying usually stops entirely because bullies are cowards who hunt for easy prey. And your child? They are no longer on the menu. Remember the study I mentioned earlier? Those kids who used these techniques? 10 years later, they had higher self-esteem scores than even the kids who were never bullied at all. Why? Because they didn't just survive. They built a confidence anchor that they can use for the rest of their lives. In boardroom meetings, in difficult relationships, in moments of self-doubt, they know how to drop their shoulders, find their center, and say, "Anyway." You have the power to change your child's life in 11 minutes a day. Start tomorrow morning. During breakfast, just 3 minutes of the triangle of power. On the car ride to school, 4 minutes of the board response. And when they get home, 4 minutes of the shoulder drop. That's it. That is the blueprint. If you found this helpful, if you want your child to be bully-proof, then share this with another parent. We are building a community of anchors. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Parenting Blueprint. You've got this. Goodbye for now.